All right, well, a lot of back and forth on interest rates this week, y'all, so we're going to dive right in, take a look at the numbers. Fed Chair Powell helped us out a little bit, y'all. We were talking about the fact that the CME FedWatch tool, the Fed futures, were showing a 40% chance of a Fed hike at the October meeting of this year. So that kind of rattled a lot of the markets. A lot of folks were getting very concerned that the Fed may be moving towards a tightening phase due to the cost of oil. Fed Chair Powell gave a speech on the 30th of March in which he said, we're not going to do that. Y'all, he just acknowledged openly that this was a supply side issue, that tempering demand by tightening Fed policy is not going to address a supply side issue, and that it's going to be short term, or at least we hope it'll be short term, but ultimately it's not inflation that the Fed can control being driven by supply disruption rather than increased demand. So, harming the market by taking money out of people's pockets, which is what the Fed's capable of doing in a tightening phase in order to slow economic growth, to temper demand, isn't going to address that supply side issue. Glad to see Chairman Powell acknowledging that. So that immediately changed the picture from the CME FedWatch tool. We went from a 40% chance of a hike on or before the 10/28 meeting to now a 13% chance of a hike. Y'all, that was only a 2% chance of a hike yesterday, because after Chairman Powell's comments, we saw Fed futures just immediately price out the possibility of a hike this year. And then we got today's BLS jobs report numbers, y'all. 178,000 new jobs created versus 59,000 new jobs expected. So that's 3 times what we expected in this report, y'all. Unemployment rate dropped from 4.4 to 4.3%. Both of those were much, much better than expected, but better is not good for interest rates in this setting, y'all. We saw the bond market sell off sharply. However, we have recouped about half of that sell-off, a little over half of that sell-off as the day has gone on, as folks have started to digest the internals of that report. And it's pretty clear that the Bureau of Labor Statistics is still a political animal, and they are following very flawed models. Y'all, I think there may have been some political pressures that both on the Democrat and Republican side that have influenced the BLS jobs numbers for a decade now. They are just broadly being discounted by the marketplace. And when you get into the internals of this report, it's likewise spurious. So it's very frustrating, y'all, that we can't just get a truthful reporting on what the jobs are in this country. ADP counts actual jobs. They show it up 60,000, which is right in line with expectations. So these flawed models and extrapolations and algorithms that the BLS number uses to get to that 178,000 jobs, they're just not reality, y'all. Not on any planet are they real. So hopefully we can get some reality around that reporting at some point. Here's where it leaves us. Mortgage News Daily has a 30-year average fixed rate conforming conventional loan, 6.45% today. 6.64 is where we were a week ago, so we're about not quite an eighth cheaper than we were this time last week. We were at 6.13 30 days ago, so we are still up 3/8 of a point or so than from where we were 30 days ago. In any event, y'all, I'm going to continue to watch it. Continue to pray for our troops, y'all. Pray for those that are in harm's way. Pray for the success of this mission and for a quick resolution so that we can get back to normal markets, whatever those happen to be. Praying for that. Always here to help. Always honored to have your referrals. Stay blessed. Stay safe. We'll talk to you next week.